Right, Rona. Well, you're next.
Is that me?
That's you. Are you all right? Are you prepared?
I'll be on it.
Right, a wee round of applause for Rona.
I could start by telling you what has happened to me on the road to get here tonight, but I won't because you've all heard that one before. But suffice to say, I've not even had a chance to put the lippy on, which means you can't actually see me at my most gorgeousness. Because the story is all about my most gorgeousness. And unfortunately, you're getting me, as I've been since 10 o'clock this morning, so I apologise for that. I apologise for my late entry. But I'm here, and I'm delighted to be here. I'm so happy to be back among my own folk. I get so excited every time I come across the border to Scotland. I'm like, yes! And I'm actually back now for good. I'm looking for a house, but forget all about that. Let me tell you my story. I'm 284 years old. And the reason I know that, I tell the kids this when I'm working in the schools and things, I say to them, I'm 284 years old. And the biggest problem I have with it is that they never say you don't look it. You don't even look surprised. So that's really scary. And one wee boy said to me, this was his only question, and it was the only question I've ever had about this. He said, how do you know you're 284? As if to say, for God's sake, by the time you got to that age, how could you possibly remember? I says, well, you know how if you slice open a tree, if you cut through a tree to find out how old it is, you count the rings, and that tells you. I says, well, in an old biddy like me, you count the lines. I says, so if you look closely, that's the 284th, that just arrived last week. And he went, oh. So because I'm 284, some people were surprised when I told them I was getting married again. This will be the 6th time. That's our secret, don't tell anybody. This will be husband number 6. Before I can go on to tell you why I decided to get married again, I have to tell you briefly why the first 5 never worked. Number 1, I can remember how handsome he was. Omar Sharif look-alike. Absolutely gorgeous. My first husband and I lived perfectly happily for 20 years. And then we met. And the next 5 years, well, I'm not even going to tell you, because you'll be greeting and I'm not having that. So, he had to go. There was no question about that. I couldn't live with somebody who said to me, I'll tell you what he said to me. He's a big football fan. And I said to him, I could have put up with this until the day that I discovered that you love Celtic more than you love me. He says, I love Rangers more than I love you. Gone. Gone. That was it. Husband number 2. He was a bit of a wimp, but I was prepared to put up with that because he, shekels. We had a few. And I like nice things, as you can see. So put up with him for quite a while, until the day that he lost his credit card and never reported it. I said to him, why didn't you report it? He says, because the thief spends less than you do. That's definitely no fair. Husband number 3, not even going to tell you about him, that's how bad he was. Husband number 4 learned the hard way how to remember my birthday. Just forget it once. And he forgot it. Husband number 5. My friend said to me, how you know wearing your wedding ring on the wrong finger? I said, aye, that's because I married the wrong man. He said, not again. Not again. I said, aye, again, I'm sorry about that, but I did. He told me that he married me because he loved the way that I looked. He says, you dress to kill. He didn't know that I cooked the same way. Thank you very much. My wee bit dry. That was running up. See all these streets she's talked about? I've run every one of them the night to get here. And it's only water. I can't believe it. See, when I discovered that Scottish people were buying water, I thought, what the hell's going on? Water is for washing your face and putting boats in. It's not for drinking unless you maybe talk like that in their whiskey. Anyway, husband number 5 had to go. I met this guy. His name's Rufus. My friend said to me, should that not be rough ass? Because he looks as rough as a baby. He's lovely. He's handsome. And he's got a few shekels as well. And I've just checked out, whether he's a kind of a generous type of bloke, and he certainly seems to be. He's been generous enough with me. But I'm thinking to myself, you're getting married again. What are you doing? What is the biggest cause of divorce? Marriage! What are you doing it for? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I remembered the story of Morag. And I thought, if Morag can do it, so can I. This is Morag. She lives in the farmhouse kitchen, along with the farmhouse cat. Farmhouse cat's a big ginger. A really big ginger because the farmer's wife spoils him. Salmon and cream for breakfast, dinner and tea. So he's never hungry, but he likes a bit of sport. So Morag has to stay well hidden. She lives in a little mouse hole in the kitchen. And she has to wait till she hears the cat's asleep and she can come out. So when the cat's asleep, Morag comes out, runs along the wall, up into the larder, gets herself some food, runs back again and stays there until the next time the cat falls asleep. The farmer's wife's got a television, so Morag knows there's another big world out there. She can remember being surrounded by other little creatures like herself once upon a time, a long time ago. She can't remember their names. She can't remember what happened to them. So she must have been very young when she was left on her own. And she thinks, I've got to get out and find out what's going on out there in that big world. I've got to go and make myself known. I've got to find myself there. So she's been watching Mr. Motivator, the Green Goddess, the whole lot of them, pumping up her, until she's got the strength to get through the cat flap. And one day she just runs at it and flies right through that cat flap. But when she gets out into the big bad world, it's nothing at all like what she expected. And there's this big red monster trundling up the hill towards her. So she just shuts her eyes and goes against the wall like this. Oh, make it quick, oh my God, make it quick. But the big red monster just trundles on by and then turns into the field. It's a tractor. She edges further along. She's out now, I might as well see what else is around. And she comes to the barn. And the first thing she sees as she edges round the corner of the barn is another big monster, a great big brown thing with a ring through its nose. But fortunately, there's a rope tied to that ring, which is tied to another ring on the wall, so that big monster's not going anywhere. But the noise that it makes terrifies her. So she creeps along the wall like this, and then she's in the open, and she sees him. And he sees her, and he says, well, hello. And she goes, hello. And she goes all pink. He says, what's your name? And she says, Morag. What's yours? He says, Malcolm. And where have you been all my life? She says, next door. He says, no, where do you live? She says, next door. No, you can't live there. There's a cat there. She says, you live with a cat? Well, I've got to stay out of his road, but yeah, I live with a cat. He says, oh my God, not only are you beautiful, but you're brave. And you must be clever. Oh, I'm clever enough. Would you like to get married? Married? I don't even know you. But you're on your own, and I'm on my own. You're a mouse, and I'm a mouse. He says, we could be so happy together. And she thinks about it. 5 seconds. And she says, okay. Where will we live? And she says, well, I don't want to live here. This is a barnyard place. He says, well, let's see where you live then. So they go back through, and he's absolutely impressed at her agility getting through the cat flap. She's through the other side. Cat's fast asleep. Sneak into the little mouse hole. He says, this is fabulous. This place is gorgeous. I know, she says. Done it all myself. He says, who made that? She says, I did. She says, I watch homes and designs. And he says, my God, this place is fabulous. Perfect for bringing up children. Whoa, 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 whoa. Who said anything about children? She says, I don't know anything about children. He said, oh, you'll learn. He says, it'll come natural to you. He says, that's what happens when people get married. Oh, I would have liked time to think about that, she said. He says, well, it's too late now, because you've said I do, and I've said I do, and now we're going to do. The next morning, when Malcolm woke up, he says, now that I'm a married man, he says, I've got responsibilities. I'll need to go and get myself a job. You mean you're leaving me? I'm not leaving you, I'll be back. But I've got to go and find myself a job. I've got responsibilities. He disappeared, and Morag was left on her own. 17 days later, Morag woke up. There are these wee pink things attached to her. What the hell is this? And it was her babies, 6 of them. Hungry, feed me, mummy, feed me. She said, oh my God, how am I going to feed all these wains? And of course, she didn't have enough to feed them. So she had to start running the gauntlet with the cat again, leaving all her wee babies safe in a corner tucked behind the stovepipe. Backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. She was exhausted. By the end of every day, she just lay there. And they were like that. Hungry, feed me, mummy, feed me. The poor thing was out of her mind. And then one day, through sheer exhaustion, she made a mistake. She mistimed it. She got to the larder while the cat was still fast asleep, but he woke up while she was still there. How am I going to get back to my ways? Oh my God. And she could hear the wee snuffling sounds. She thought the cat's going to hear them. They're going to get one though. The biggest one. I'm starving, I'm going to look for her. And the others were saying, you can't, you've been warned, we've been told what we must do. You must listen to mother, stay with you. No, he was too brave. He went out to look for his mother, trundled out the mouse hole, got so far and thought, what the? And the cat saw him and thought, oh, lunch. Trundled over, great big paw just ready to come crashing down on his head. And Mummy Mouse came zooming, super Mummy Mouse, from the larder, landed right on the back of his head, whack! And there he was, stunned just enough for them both to get back into the mouse hole. Now, I don't need to tell you what happened next, because the cat, now knowing that they were there, was determined to get them. And it started to dig its way to make that hole bigger. And he got his big fat head in. And if it wasn't for the fact that he was so fat, he would have got in a lot quicker. Mummy Mouse had only a fraction of time to teach these children a lesson. You must listen to me, my babies, you must listen. Yes, mama, yes, mama, yes, mama, 6 times. This is what you've got to do. Are you listening? Yeah. Have you got that? Yeah. The cat's shoulder is now through. And he squeezes and squeezes. And he comes through with a plop. And there's only his big rear end still to come. Are you listening, my babies? Have you got that? Yes, mama, yes, mama. But don't do it till I tell you. Wait till I say now. Yes, mama. Next minute there's a big plop and the cat's through. Oh, I can smell them. Oh, yes. Whiskers come round the side of the stovepipe, followed by a black shiny nose, followed by another set of whiskers. One eye just coming into view. Not yet, children. Not yet. As soon as his head came round the corner, she said, now. And 6 little baby mice and their mother all did whoa, 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 and barked as loud as they could. And that cat thought it was being attacked by 6 big dogs, and it turned and it took off through the cat flap, over the hill, over the dale, disappeared and was never seen again. Apart from the fact But it goes to show you that there is nothing better than learning a second language. Morag thought she was so proud of her children, she couldn't believe it. And the next day, they're all out there playing on the kitchen floor. And Malcolm comes back. And he says, "What's going on here?" She said, "Well," he says, "where's the cat?" Done and dusted, me and my wains, saw it all. His heart went boom, 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 boom. He says, "I've come back, I couldn't live without you. I've got a good job, and I've got a few bob, and I've bought you a nice wee present. And I bought something for the wains. I had a feeling they were on their way," he said. Super mouse. 6 little sugary people, 1 for each of the wee mice. And a wee diamond ring for Morag. And they lived happily ever after. So I thought, if Morag can take a chance like that, so can I. My wedding, 34th of July 2031. I'll see you there.